I don't know. I don't know. Angel Reese. She might have tapped out, y'all. Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating. What is this back injury? What's going on? Hey, are you trying to pretend like you hurt because Caitlin Clark really is hurt? Wait. What's going on? What's going on, man? We gonna get to the bottom. We gonna figure it out.
Everybody's talking. Everybody's asking the same question. Has Angel Reese just quit on the Chicago Sky again? We've seen this movie before, and every time the ending looks suspiciously the same. She's day-to-day with a back injury. But if you followed her career, you already know what that phrase tends to mean. Last year, a season-ending wrist injury. The year before, a vanishing act during Unrivaled. And now, the Chicago Sky suddenly look better without her than with her. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is present for her team despite a legitimate groin injury, and she's still courtside for her team every night. So what's really going on? Is this bad luck, or is this the most predictable disappearing act in WNBA history? If you love real WNBA talk without the sugarcoating, sit back and watch, but make sure to like this video and subscribe to Spotlight WNBA for all the inside information. Let's go.
I have a take on Angel Reese that I'm sure will trigger a bunch of people, but I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury basically since the All-Star break. And there's no details. Every day we hear that Angel Reese is day to day. And every week there's no update on what she's struggling with, what she's doing. There's nothing. There's no information about Angel Reese. I think she's quit on this season. I think this is a worse version than Kawhi Leonard. I think she's using her back as an excuse to sit out because she doesn't really care about basketball.
Last season, the script was identical. Reese announced she had a serious wrist fracture that required surgery, supposedly to prevent arthritis later in life. One press release later, she was done for the season. No comeback push, no effort to close the year strong. She simply disappeared. And it wasn't just in the WNBA. She quit mid-season in Unrivaled too, claimed she was hurt, didn't finish the season, and didn't even show up to watch the championship game. That's not just sitting out. It's removing yourself completely from the team environment. Now we're right back here again. This time it's her back. No diagnosis, no timetable, no specifics about the injury or what caused it. Every update is the same vague day-to-day status that never changes. It's become so predictable that some analysts have flat out started calling her the Queen of Quit, a player whose exits come right when the heat's on, whose absences are as regular as clockwork, and whose commitment seems to vanish the moment the standings turn ugly. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to see the pattern.
Last year with the Chicago Sky, you quit. You quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realized you no longer, you never stood a chance, to be honest, with Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year. But once you realized your double streak was over, and it was over. She took over post-Olympic break. Once you realized it was done, you threw in the towel, said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year.
Here's where it gets even harder to defend. Every one of these injuries seems to arrive at the exact same point, right when the season is slipping away and the spotlight is starting to burn hot. The back injury appeared in the middle of another rough stretch for Chicago, right when they needed a spark. Instead of stepping up, she vanished. And it wasn't just any game she missed, it was the Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever matchup in Indianapolis. That's supposed to be one of the league's hottest tickets, the most marketable rivalry they have right now. But here's the kicker. Just weeks earlier, she was in Indiana for the All-Star game. All smiles, cameras rolling, even staging a marketing stunt claiming she took over Caitlin Clark's trap. The back seemed just fine for that, but for a game against Clark, nowhere to be found. A lot of fans are starting to connect those dots, and the conversations aren't flattering. Is this about avoiding bad matchups, protecting her brand, dodging games that might expose her flaws? The whispers are getting louder.
I think she looks over at Caitlin Clark and says, hey, Caitlin Clark is out with a legitimate injury. I proved my point before the All-Star game when I went on a 10-game run trying to justify being on the All-Star team. When that first ballot came out, when the first voting results came out about the All-Star game and I was 13th, holy cow, Angel Reese panicked, started playing hard, tried to put up some stats to justify being on the All-Star team, did that, and now she said, hey, the Chicago Sky sucked this year, peace out.
Here's the uncomfortable truth for Chicago. The Sky actually play better without Angel Reese. This isn't spin, it's in the numbers. When she's out, the ball moves, the spacing improves. The guards run the offense instead of forcing post touches that kill rhythm. The wings cut harder, the shots come from ball movement, not desperation heaves with 2 seconds left on the clock. Coaches won't say it outright, but they've hinted at it. There's more urgency when the offense isn't funneling through one ego. It's a classic addition by subtraction situation. Even the bench energy is different. Without her, everyone seems more engaged. It's the kind of chemistry you can't fake, and it shows up in the win column. And the perception outside of Chicago isn't doing her any favors. The TikTok channel at StatStuffer has pulled massive viewership, posting nothing but reels of every single Angel Reese missed shot. Episodes that rack up hundreds of thousands of views just because fans can't believe how often the ball doesn't go in. At some point, the question stops being, why does she miss so much? And becomes, how can a professional basketball player show no visible effort to improve?
Angel Reese, part 54, let's get it! Burn! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump, not great! Burn!
Me bound, me bound, me bound, me bound, me bound, me bound, me bound.
Yeah! Again, do it for me. Me bound! Burn! Okay, new strategy, team. Angel, keep doing your part. Everyone else, go rebound her misses! Burn! If she keeps missing layups at this rate, she's gonna be serving buttermilk pancakes at Denny's. Butter? Did somebody say butter? Butter pecan! Burn! At a certain point, you just gotta applaud greatness. A me bound on her back? Are you kidding? Bang! Simon says, give me another pray-up. How about it? Bang! She really hit under the basket on a layup. Get this girl GPS. Bang! Everybody get up on your feet. It's time to meet and greet the most underpaid athlete. Bang!
Now look across the court at Caitlin Clark. Her injury is documented. Everyone saw the moment she re-aggravated her groin. There's a timeline for recovery, and most importantly, even while sidelined, she's still there. She's in the arena, in uniform when possible, coaching her teammates during timeouts, signing autographs for fans. This season, she's averaging 16.5 points and nearly 9 assists per game, leading the league in assists per game. And those assists aren't empty stats. They're creating real game-changing plays. The proof? Viewership spikes when Clark plays. It dips when she's out. That's the mark of a true star. Her presence moves the needle. Reese's absences, they barely register outside of Chicago.
I've got some good news and some bad news for those who are fans of pretend basketball. For those who are desperate to see the WNBA succeed, even though this dump of a league can't seem to get the hell out of their own way. Now, the WNBA, they refer to these people as fans, but the rest of us, we prefer to call them the mainstream media. The good news is, WNBA ratings have been somewhat solid, even though Caitlin Clark has missed damn near the entire season. This isn't good news. This is great. We keep telling you the WNBA is more than one player. Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes.
The Fever aren't just about Clark. They've built a roster that complements her perfectly. Aaliyah Boston owns the paint. Kelsey Mitchell is a deadly scorer. Sophie Cunningham brings grit. Natasha Howard adds championship-level experience. Lexi Hall does all the little things that win games, and it's working. Indiana is 4-0 against Chicago this season, winning whether Clark plays or not. That's not just talent, that's culture. Part of that culture comes from Clark herself. Even injured, she's there, on the bench, in the huddles, breaking down plays and celebrating every big moment like she's on the floor. She's been present for her teammates physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's a level of leadership you can't fake. Meanwhile, Reese's visibility hasn't been on the bench, it's been online. She's more active on her social media than she is in uniform, posting brand content, modeling shoots, and selfies while her team grinds through the season without her. For the Fever, the focus is winning. For the Sky, it's hard to ignore that their star seems more invested in followers than in floor time. The Fever have made it clear they're building a legacy. Clark has said she wants to win multiple championships, and with this roster, it's not just talk. They've got the blueprint: mix young stars with veterans, keep the locker room connected, and make sure everyone knows their role.
We've never had an explanation on what caused the back injury, what's a time frame for her recovery. It's similar to so-and-so's back injury. This is something she struggled with here or there. All we've heard is day-to-day, and Angel Reese has disappeared. She knew, she identified once they lost Vandersloot, their point guard, early in the year, and once they started getting their brains beat in, hey, we're not gonna win anything this year. I'm not putting these L's on my resume.
3 seasons in a row, Angel Reese hasn't finished strong. Every year, the pattern repeats: vague injuries, indefinite absences, and a disappearing act just when things get tough. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever keep climbing. They're stacking wins, building chemistry, and making moves that actually push them toward a title. Chicago, still circling the same problems: instability, inconsistent play, and marketing a player who spends more time in street clothes than on the court. Every time Reese disappears, Clark's value shines even brighter. Fans can see who's really showing up and who's not. And if you care about the future of the WNBA, the choice is clear. Are you backing the players who build a legacy, or the ones clinging to a brand? If you think this is just another Reese PR stunt, drop Queen of Quit in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Spotlight WNBA so you never miss the stories the league doesn't want you to hear.